All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to do something really cool. We're going to completely change the way your MATLAB scripts work. We'll take them from being these static, one-way streets and turn them into truly dynamic, interactive programs. So let's just think about this for a second. You know, you have a basic script, right? You hit run. It just chugs along from top to bottom and spits out the same exact result every single time. It's basically giving a speech. It's a monologue. It doesn't listen, it can't adapt to you, it just talks.
But what if we could teach it to have a real conversation? You know, to actually ask you questions, listen for your answers, and then respond based on what it learns from you. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. Today is all about moving our code from monologue to dialogue. All right, first things first. Any good conversation has to start with listening, right? So before our script can even think about talking, we've got to give it a pair of ears. We need to teach it how to stop, pay attention, and actually capture what you, the user, are typing.
And the main tool we're going to use for this in MATLAB is the input function. It's actually beautiful in its simplicity. When your script hits a line with input, everything just pauses. It freezes right there, shows you whatever message you've programmed, and then it just waits, patiently, for you to type something in and hit enter.
Okay, now this is super important. There are basically two ways you'll use this function, but there is one tiny, crucial detail you absolutely cannot forget. Look, if you're asking for a number, it's pretty straightforward. But, and this is the big one, if you want to capture text, you know, what programmers call a string, you have to add that little extra piece you see on the right, that comma, and then the letter S in quotes. That tiny S, that's the whole secret right there. And look, I'm calling this out so directly because I'm telling you, this is hands down the #1 mistake beginners make. I see it all the time. If you ask for someone's name but you forget that little S, MATLAB's just going to get confused and your script will crash. It'll just break. So please, 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 always remember the S for strings. Okay, so our script has ears now. It can listen to the user. That is half the battle right there. But now we need to give it a mouth. Once it's taken in some information from you, it needs a really clear and effective way to talk back, to actually show you what it did. And lucky for us, MATLAB gives us two main voices to choose from. Think of it like this. You've got disp function, which is kind of like a quick, simple announcement, just blurts out the info. And then you have fprintf, which is for crafting these really nice, fully formatted sentences where you have total control. So let's start with the simple one, right? The one for those quick announcements. When you just need to get a point across with zero fuss, that's when you're going to reach for the disp function. Really, the best way to think about disp is for like quick status updates, or maybe when you're just trying to figure out what's going on in your code. You know, if you want to pop up a simple message like calculation complete, or you just want to see the raw value inside a variable, disp is your fast, direct, no-frills tool for the job. But, you know, simple replies aren't always going to cut it. Sometimes you need to be a little more articulate. You need to present information really clearly inside a proper sentence. And for that, we need a more powerful tool. That's when we turn to fprintf. Here's the key thing to get about fprintf. It's a sentence builder. That's its whole job. It lets you write out a complete sentence and then create these special little placeholders where your variables just slot in perfectly. It's the huge difference between just spitting out the number 42 and clearly stating, hey, the final answer is 42. See the difference? Okay, I know what you're thinking. That placeholder syntax looks a little strange at first, but trust me, it's just a simple recipe. Think of it this way. The %sign, that's just a little flag that shouts, hey, a variable is coming. The letter right after it, like F or S, tells MATLAB what kind of variable to expect. F for a number with decimals, S for text, you get the idea. And that N at the end, that's just you telling the script to hit the Enter key to start a new line, so all your text doesn't get mushed together. Okay, enough theory. We've learned how to listen with input, we've learned how to speak with fprintf, we have all the pieces of the puzzle. So now, let's put them all together and watch a full, complete conversation happen right before our eyes. So here's our little script. It's super simple. First line, it asks for a name, and notice we've got our S for string. Good. Second line, it asks for a number. Third line, just a basic calculation, nothing fancy. And then the magic in line 4. fprintf uses two placeholders, a %s to slot in the name and a %.2f to pop in the number.
And that little .2 in there, that just tells it to format the number nicely to 2 decimal places. It's all about delivering a polished, personalized result. All right, so we hit run, and this is what you see. The first thing that pops up in the command window, the script has hit that first input function, and now it's just waiting. It's paused, waiting for us.
Okay, so let's pretend the user types in Maria and hits enter. The second they do that, the script wakes up, grabs that name, stores it, and boom, immediately moves to the next line. And now we see the second prompt. It's paused again, waiting for a number this time. And now let's say the user types in 17. The script instantly does the math, 17 times 1.5, and then our fprintf function does its thing. It takes the name Maria from earlier, it takes the new result, 25.50, and it just weaves them together into one perfect, easy-to-read sentence. That right there is a successful conversation.
So let's just step back a second. We did it. We've successfully gone from a script that just talks at you to one that actually talks with you. And I want you to realize this is way more than just a neat programming trick. This fundamentally changes what your code can even do. What you've really unlocked here is the power to build flexible tools you don't have to rewrite every time you want to use a different number. You can now build genuinely user-friendly applications that actually guide someone through a process. You can personalize the experience for them. You see, you're not just coding a calculation anymore, you're designing an interaction. And so, I'll just leave you with this final thought. You've just given your code a voice, and you've given it ears. You've turned it from a dumb tool into a collaborator. So the only question left is, now that your script can finally talk, what conversations are you going to start?